We've all seen so many iterations of Harry Osborn in movies, shows, and video games. There's always one, though, that stands above the rest in Spider-Man media, and that is Dane DeHaan, baby, yeah! At this point, Spider-Man 2's been out for a while, and I think most of us have played it. Or if you haven't, and you're like me and you're broke, you watch those Spider-Man 2 PS5 movie cutscene edits on YouTube that shows the story in like 4 hours while cutting out all the monotonous gameplay. Listen, it probably saved you about 20 hours of your life. Now, you may look at me and say, wow, you're a real piece of shit, Michael, aren't you? How dare you make a video on Spider-Man 2 without even playing it? You should honestly walk into oncoming traffic, you piece of garbage. And while I think you guys need to calm down, I think you're right. That's why I won't be commenting on the gameplay aspects. There are plenty of people who've covered that and you know it. Plus, even if I did play it, what would I even say? Like, the swinging got better, the map size got bigger, what do you want from me? Must I spend $1,000 to buy a PS5? Look, I'm not Mr. Beast. Maybe when these videos do better, maybe. Back on topic, Harry Osborn has always been a character that I've loved since the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies of the early 2000s. It's not a character that I outwardly say I like, but I've always appreciated him. Yeah, James Franco's version isn't accurate to the comics, but it's accurate to my childhood. And in my biased eyes, that's good enough for me. While I don't think Harry Osborn in Spider-Man 2 does anything incredibly unique with the character, I think the execution outweighs the originality. That's not to say he's completely unoriginal. I mean, I still want to give props. I think making him Venom was a smart idea and led to some very fresh character interactions between him and Peter. When they were fighting side by side, you can't tell me you didn't get Spider-Man 3 flashbacks. At the end of the last game, they teased that Harry would be Venom, and I remember at first not really relishing that decision on Insomniac's part, mostly due to how it was introduced. I was worried that the origins of the symbiote would simply be that Oscorp invented it to save Harry's life, and I felt that would severely undercut the appeal of the Venom storyline. And I'm glad to say I was very wrong. The symbiote gave Harry a connection to his infamous comic storyline drug addiction, and I actually thought it was pretty smart and well integrated. I like that they somehow took the terrible Amazing Spider-Man 2 version of Harry Osborn, where he's dying from a mysterious disease, and somehow made it a bit more nuanced and work, despite not even explaining what the disease is. I think the best part of Spider-Man 2 as a whole is the relationship between Peter and Harry. I was always so bummed hearing that Harry isn't in the MCU version of Spider-Man, and we got Ned Leeds instead. Listen, no hate to you, Ned, but you're a waste of space and nobody likes you, and I'm glad you're gone. Harry Osborn in this game is a character that actually gets a large amount of focus because he's set up as the main villain. We get to see how not being in the first game really affected his life. He missed everything we experienced, yet the writers were able to simultaneously slip him into this game as if he's been our friend since the very beginning. It's especially impressive because in this universe, Peter already kind of has a best friend in Miles. They got around that by having Miles more separate in his own storyline with Genki, the skinny Ned, and his own group of characters, so it works for what it is. Harry is the good old best friend of Peter, which we get to see through some cleverly incorporated flashbacks. I like when flashbacks don't feel super arbitrary and interrupt the story, but more so move the plot forward and provide deeper insight into the characters we're following. Good job, Insomniac. If only the people who made Saw movies could take notes from you. I genuinely found myself caring about Harry and his dream to save the world. It really felt surreal to see them recognize a long dormant dream that had been reawakened. See, Insomniac has this really good trend of you think you know what's gonna happen, so to flip it on you, they make it so the outcome that you think is gonna happen is something that you don't want to happen. And they did this very well in the first game with Otto Octavius. We knew he would turn into Doc Ock, but they developed the relationship between Peter and Doc Ock that it wouldn't feel like something you want to happen, so it was still very effective. And the same happens here. We don't want Harry to turn into Venom, and that's what's gonna happen, and we all know it, and we're all crying about it, and we're like, no, please, don't do it, please, no. Another unique aspect to Harry in this game is that Norman Osborn is still alive. Usually for some reason, Marvel has a hard-on for getting Harry's storyline started with, Spider-Man killed my dad, and I need to find out who he is, which creates a lot of uneasy tension between him and Peter. Because it's clear Harry has his suspicions about him being Spider-Man, it's just so refreshing to see Harry not have this overdone grudge for once, and it really put him in a new light for me. When he turns into Venom and Peter is forced to kill him in order to stop the symbiote, I actually felt emotion. I didn't want Harry to die. Obviously, there's some issues with this game, and others have covered it. I'm not even covering the narrative as a whole, because yeah, there are some issues, but I'm standing my ground that Harry Osborn was not one of those issues. It's just nice that after 20 years of experiencing this character, for me, it was nice to finally care. Thanks for watching.
Also, real quick before I go, I just realized this is going to be uploaded on the day of my mom's birthday, so happy birthday, Mom. I know she watches my videos. And no, this isn't the birthday gift for all you people wondering. That would be a really lame-ass gift. I'm a good son. I'll figure something out. If you guys have any cool mom gift ideas, leave them in the comments below. All right, see ya.